Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AITA. In today's episode, AITA for purposely stopping my classmate from winning an award and subsequently making her cry? AITA for refusing to keep doing chores for my wife? AITA for serving my 30F sister-in-law 32F dinner on a kid's plate? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. AITA for purposely stopping my classmate from winning an award and subsequently making her cry? This issue is honestly making me frustrated. Almost everyone is saying I am in the wrong. People are talking behind my back and I genuinely don't know if what I did was correct or not. I just feel so lost. Please do help. I am 17, suffered a major accident while cycling when I was 13. I have 2 really deep, long facial scars. I have been bullied really bad because of it. I am tall, ugly, and intimidating, as per most girls. People make fun of other people by saying things like, "Why don't you just hook up with you/throwaway for 2K19? I am honestly used to it. Those people didn't matter to me anyway. But there is this girl I had known since middle school. Let's call her back, I guess? Sorry, I honestly don't know how this works. I had a really big crush on her till a few days ago. I thought she was genuinely sweet and amazing. My family is incredibly supportive, so they urged me to ask her out. I can play a guitar, so I made this whole song for her. I went to the neighboring city to get her favorite chocolate and stuff like that. This was the first time I felt like really going and asking someone out in my life, and I felt that regardless of what I do, she shall see me for who I am and at least accept me as a friend. I was over the moon when she ended up accepting. We went to a fancy restaurant, had a fun time together, and walked for 30 minutes. She was really sweet to me. The next week or so was honestly heaven. People started noticing me, even her friends seemed friendly with me. I honestly cried every day because I felt so fortunate to get so much love. It all broke down when a friend of hers, who was on Instagram and followed Beck, sent screenshots to me. I honestly felt betrayed and disgusted. She had posts saying fulfilled his lifelong wish by being his Valentine's, making his day by finally helping him interact with my friends. He is ugly but beautiful people accept ugly people, #uglypeoplematter, etc. Beck's friend then explained me that she apparently wanted a good social media image and had thus asked all her friends to be kind to me and tolerate me till the first week of March, and then distance themselves from me. She apparently wanted to win some stupid positive role model award for her college application because she was lagging behind in community service, and thought playing with my feelings for a few days wouldn't hurt, and apparently since I was ugly she was the kind one to give me attention anyway. I was in tears and honestly felt disgusted. My blood was boiling. I researched about this award, found a Facebook page about it online. I went to the authorities to confirm if her name was on the nominations list, and then had my friends at work and family as alibi. She is apparently crying a lot because she received a message from the committee saying her nomination was withdrawn. I am now even more ostracized in school, but honestly I have no remorse whatsoever and feel far more satisfied. NTA, this is so messed up it's beyond words. How did she even qualify for an award like that with this as her entry submission? What she did to you is dehumanizing and so incredibly out of line. Everyone's on her side because you're surrounded by assholes at school, but I promise you, you will move past this. Thank you for saying this. I honestly was confused and still am to some extent, because everyone in high school sided with her. Your trust in me genuinely matters. I just let the whole truth out. Thank you for trusting me. Have a nice day. NTA. She's the ugly one here. NTA, what kind of messed up mean girls scenario are you living in? NTA. At all. You didn't stop her from winning that award, she did that all by herself. She made her bed and now she gets to lie in it. NTA. You are most definitely not the asshole, and I am very sorry that you're dealing with this. It probably doesn't help a lot now, but as you get older, you will find that girls/women put a lot less stock into looks and a lot more emphasis on things like being kind, trustworthy, respectful, and funny. Teenage girls are notoriously shallow. Also, you will very likely love college if you decide to attend. It was so much better than high school for me. AITA for refusing to keep doing chores for my wife? I, 28M, and have been married to my wife Bella, 28F, for 5 years. We both met and went to the same college. She pre-law while I was doing animation. She graduated top of our class and went to AT20 law school. While she was in law school, I had a lot of trouble finding a job in my field or a job at all, really. I ended up working in a kitchen as a line cook to help support us, in addition to loans she took out, while she was going to school so she could just focus on her classes. Bella got a very good job in a different state after she graduated, so I quit my job and haven't gotten another one since. We have no kids, a nice house for the two of us, and are overall living very comfortably. She works very long hours, so I take care of most of the household things. Cleaning, cooking, grocery shopping, repainting the walls and doing other work and renovations to the house. In the last 6 months, Bella's started referring to me as her house husband around our family and friends. I've mostly been letting it go, but every single time it bothers me. I'm already insecure about not being able to find a good job, and it makes me feel even more inadequate. I finally got to the end of my rope when we were with her mother on Sunday, who still doesn't really approve of me, and they were talking about taking care of the lawn/garden, and she said, "Thank goodness I have a house husband for that, or I'd never find the time," and smiled at me. Then they both laughed. It was humiliating. I didn't say anything at first, but I guess she could tell that I was really upset and asked what was wrong. I told her that she needed to stop emasculating me and making it seem like I didn't contribute anything to the household. We were arguing back and forth, and she told me that she would stop calling me a house husband if I was going to get that upset about it, but that it wasn't an untrue term and I needed to stop being insecure. Bella refuses to apologize. I feel like she doesn't fully appreciate my value as her husband. I've stopped doing the chores until she apologizes, and she is beyond pissed off. She's been coming home and cooking dinner, only for herself, and doing the chores I haven't, and then taking off to spend the night at a friend's house. I was talking to my sister about it and she told me that Bella was wrong, but I was being immature in my response. The thing is, if I give in, she's going to keep thinking what she's been doing is okay. I don't even know anymore. Aita? Darling, you are a house husband. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Or being a housewife. Why do you believe that it is a put down or emasculating? It's an equal contribution to your family and household. It holds value. It permits your wife to work longer hours at her job, without trying to also maintain the household. If you're truly unhappy in that role, do something about it. Look for work in your chosen field or look into going back for new qualifications. YTA for getting upset about a factually correct statement. Nah. As a housewife myself, I'd be so annoyed if my husband said he has a housewife to take care of stuff. If it was, "I'm so glad my name takes care of all of that," it would be fine. But to reduce your spouse to just their position, rather than a person, is demeaning. YTA. Definition of a house husband: a man who lives with a partner and carries out household duties traditionally done by a housewife rather than going out to work. You pretty much fit the description, and there is absolutely nothing wrong or emasculating about being a house husband mate. If you still felt uncomfortable hearing the term, you could have had an honest conversation about how you're feeling with her instead of doing something childish like this. I've stopped doing the chores until she apologizes. She has nothing to apologize for, as she said she'll stop using that term as soon as you asked her to. I was going to say exactly this. Grow up and stop being TA. But, you literally are a house husband. If this were the other way around, surely you agree that she would be a housewife in these circumstances? It's also not saying you don't contribute. It's pointing out how much you contribute. She is literally saying she couldn't keep up without you. That's giving you credit. And also, it just is a fact. It may be temporary, or not, but at this time, she is a breadwinner and you are a house husband. If you find that humiliating, change it. But don't get mad that someone else recognizes it as a fact. YTA Info: How is being called a house husband emasculating? Housewife has been used forever and it's not a degrading term. Sounds like you have a plan. She will work and come home and cook for herself. And do the chores important to her. And you will sit home and do nothing except make meals for yourself? Good plan. She'll eventually wonder why she is pulling all the weight and that teach her. She should find someone else that helps out around the house. Gentle YTA. You took house husband as demeaning because you look down upon housewives. If you saw the term housewife as having the connotation of huge contributions it should, you'd be proud to be called a house husband. AITA for serving my 30F sister-in-law 32F dinner on a kid's plate? My husband and I have family dinners at our house every month or so with our family. I have some sets of fine china that I like to switch out between the seasons that I've inherited from my grandmother. When we have our get-togethers, I serve dinner on these plates. My MIL compliments them every time. My sister-in-law, however, has made comments to me that they're not her style. I honestly didn't think twice her comment about it until this past February when one of my plates was put in the sink, broken. Chalked it up to an accident. In April we had another dinner. This time Sael was carrying both her and her boyfriend's plates to the sink, and accidentally dropped both. Again, no biggie at all. In May she broke 2 more plates and in June she broke a plate and a cup. At this point I was catching on. I brought up these concerns to my husband and he brushed it off as accidents. I told my mom and she said she thought my Sael was doing it on purpose and got me a camera to put in my dining room. In July we had dinner, and I had an opportunity arise. My MIL, SIL, and her BF joined us for dinner. While our plates were still on the table, my MIL asked how my plants were doing and I said I'd show her. I told my husband to follow us outside so he could show her the plant he's growing, leaving Sael alone with her BF. When we came back inside 5 minutes later, her plate was broken. When they left, I pulled up the camera footage. I saw her stand up when we walked out and peek around the corner, and then throw the plate on the ground. I kept this video to myself. That brings me to this past weekend. We had our family dinner and we were joined by my in-laws, Sael, and her BF as well as my parents, siblings and niece. I served everyone, saving evil Sael for last. I brought her food out on a child's plate with a sippy cup and got those kids silverware with the plastic handles. She looked at me confused and said, "I think you mixed my plate up with your niece's plate," and I said, "No, niece's name is responsible enough to eat on a grown-up's plate. If you're going to act like a child in my home, I'm going to treat you like a child in my home." She tried to play coy, but I had my iPad ready and played the video to everyone at the table. She started sobbing, swiped the kids' plate off the table and stormed out. My in-laws both apologized and offered to pay for replacement plates, but I told them not to worry about it. Despite this, we still had a nice time. When everyone left, my husband told me I was out of line and cruel, but I told him that this has been happening for months and I've told him it was bothering me multiple times. It's Wednesday, he's still being a little cold to me, and I also got a text from my CLS boyfriend asking me if I would apologize to her because I really embarrassed her. I sent him the video again and he left me on read. My husband just called me to ask if I was taunting her boyfriend because his sister called him crying that I was. So, AITA? NTA. You're amazing. You have nothing to apologize for. Your SIL does have lots of things to apologize for though. I do feel bad that I embarrassed her. I spoke with their mom today and she and my FIL have my back and that I should demand her to pay for the plates, and if she doesn't they would, but I'm not going to make anyone do that. I got them from my grandma, so they were special to me. Money can't help the sadness of not having them back, sad face. NTA. Your husband and your SIL's boyfriend are assholes though. You inherited those from your grandmother. SIL has something seriously wrong with her mentally. Who breaks someone else's plates just because they aren't her style? Who cares about someone else's plates? It's a goddamn plate and it's not her house. She's behaving like a child, she deserves to be treated like one and called out. What a psycho. Does she display any other type of aggressive behaviors to you? She sounds jealous and is throwing a tantrum like a toddler. Her husband is also an asshole for not taking OP's side. The in-laws rock for sticking up for OP and NTA, but your husband, sister-in-law, and the boyfriend are all assholes. NTA and I don't get why your husband is not with you on this. Those plates had sentiment value, you've been noticing it for a long time and talked to him multiple times. He brushed you off. You even have a proof your SIL does it on purpose. Multiple times, should I say again? And he still sides with that immature child, who couldn't ask you for a change of plates if it bothered her so much. You don't owe her any apologies, but you should have a proper convo with your hubby to get his attitude straight. Just curious, why is your husband still defending her? Her own parents aren't on her side. You're supposed to be a team, and your husband is not acting the part. But your husband is. Just speculation because husband is still giving me the cold shoulder. It's probably because that's his younger sister and she has been in and out of, albeit self-caused, trouble these past few months. She was caught stealing clothes, her BF was caught stealing some really silly stuff like those bladeless fans and decorative outdoor lamps. Again, I'm guessing, but I think they're getting a thrill or something out of all of it. NTA. What kind of sociopath breaks someone else's dinnerware because they're not their style? She deserves that embarrassment. Did she ever apologize for breaking so many of your plates? If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.